Okay, welcome everyone. We are here tonight with We the Patriots USA for a very special broadcast. Before I introduce our guest tonight, I just want to tell you about an event we're having this Saturday. So it's Saturday, June 19th in Hartford at the State Capitol Building. That's 210 Capitol Avenue. And we are going to have the one and only Dr. Simone Gold from America's Frontline Doctors. She will be speaking. Many of you have been following her for the past year and a half. You know she is just absolutely amazing. She broke open the story about hydroxychloroquine, zinc, Zithromax, the treatments that were available for COVID, and that there was no need to rush this vaccine to market. We've seen what's been happening in the last several months since this has been released, especially most recently to young people. Very, very dangerous stuff here, but she was the first to sort of break this open along with the other frontline docs on the steps of the Supreme Court. She's created an amazing organization, a legal dream team. She's taking on lawsuits all over the country, and we hope to see you there. It's going to be an amazing event in Hartford. It starts at 6 o'clock. You can get there a little early at 5:30 if you want. It's an outdoor event, so bring chairs, blankets, whatever. It's going to be amazing. And we're going to have other guests too. So yours truly will be speaking. I am the co-founder of We the Patriots USA. I'm a civil rights attorney, and I'll be talking about some of the work that we're doing here at We the Patriots USA. And then we have another special guest, and that's our guest tonight for this interview, 11-year-old Jenna Miller. You may have heard her story if you've been following the news at all in the last several days. She was all over the news. I believe this New York Post story, several other local news outlets in New York, and even some national outlets may have picked it up. She removed her mask and was effectively kicked out of school. So we're going to talk to her tonight. I'm going to bring Jenna in. How you doing, Jenna?
Hi, I'm good.
All right. Thanks for coming here today, joining us, and thank you for agreeing to speak at the rally as well. So tell me what happened exactly. First of all, when did this happen and what happened?
So it happened on June 8th. I was very excited that the mandate was going to be lifted in schools, and I thought that I was going to have a nice 2 weeks left of school with seeing the other half of my friends' face and seeing them smile and going to the cafeteria using our cubbies. But then once the mandate wasn't lifted, I was really disappointed, but I knew that there was going to be an excessive heat wave this week. So I walked in without a mask and
Sorry, lost the camera for a minute.
And I got stopped by the nurse, and she pulled me into her office, and she physically touched my face and put a mask on my face. And
so she just, without even asking you, without even saying anything to you, she just put a mask on your face?
Yes, she touched my face. She put a mask on my face. And I even asked her, "Can you not touch me? This is my body." And she says, "Well, it had to be done." So I walked to my classroom, and about 2 hours into my classes, it started to get very, very hot. The heat started to get unbearable. There was no fans. There was no air conditioners. There was pretty much nothing for air, and it was just straight humidity. So I said that I couldn't breathe, and I was sent to the nurse's office, and the nurse said, "You can either put a mask back on and go back to class for the rest of the day, or you can go home because you weren't following school policy." And I said, "Oh, okay, well, call my mom because I'm going home and I'm not going to be forced to put a mask on in this heat temperature."
Wow. Amazing. God bless you. You know, I was saying to your mama and your dad the other day when I was talking to them on the phone that would not have been me when I was 11. I think most people who are listening here agree, because you're 11, right?
Yes.
Yeah, most people watching, I think, would agree with me that we wouldn't have done this. I mean, we've grown into this medical freedom movement over the years, decades, but we would not have been brave enough to do that. And thank you for standing up for what is right and having that courage that so many don't. Now, what do your friends think about it? Did any of them say anything?
No, they're very, very scared to speak up. They're afraid of getting in trouble by breaking the rules of supposedly not wearing your mask.
So did the teachers say anything to you, or have you, because you've been on remote learning now, right, since then?
Well, yeah, it's only been like a few days since this happened. So every time I tried to pull my mask down below my chin and under my nose, I constantly kept getting yelled at by my teacher to say, put your mask up, put your mask up. And with me being forced, that's when I said that I couldn't breathe, and that's when I went to the nurse.
Well, I mean, the funny thing is we've all been saying this since this started last year. So what was it, March of last year, right?
Yeah.
Everybody in our movement, everybody in our circles is saying, if the kids just said no, if we all said no, if we all just took our masks off, this would be over. It would be over in 5 minutes. And unfortunately, you were the lone one doing it. I mean, no one else, when they saw you do that, I'm assuming somebody saw it.
Pretty much my whole class seen it, and they were,
and they didn't all rip off their masks together, right?
Yeah, we should have.
Right, that's what should have happened, because if that had happened, what are they going to do? Kick you all out? I guess they could, but
yeah.
You could have done that. I mean, everyone in the school could have done that, and then it's over. I mean, they only have power as long as we let them have power. Remember that. So I want to bring your dad in, Joe. Right, he's over there. Joe, can you come in for a minute?
I'll scoot over here.
Hi, Joe.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How you doing? Nice to finally sort of see you face to face. Can you tell our viewers what you think about what your daughter did the other day?
Well, again, you look at the situation, and it was just a recipe for disaster from the beginning. You had pretty much record high temperatures, mid 90 degrees. There's no air conditioning in that school. They're not even allowed to run a fan because a fan will spread COVID. So there's no air movement whatsoever. So that combined with having that mask on, she just couldn't take it. Kids are getting dizzy, kids are getting headaches, and I give Jenna a lot of credit. She said, enough is enough. I cannot do this anymore.
Right. And so obviously you fully support it. You weren't angry, upset, anything when you found out about this?
No, not at all. I mean, she had to do what she had to do. And, I support that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm speaking for myself and won't speak for you, but I don't know how you feel. But like I said, I wouldn't have been able to do that at her age. I mean, I would do it now. Anyone who knows me knows I'll do it now, but 30 years ago, probably not so much. I'm giving away my age a little bit, but over 30 years ago, since I was 11, actually. But it's crazy. So we filed a lawsuit. Joe, I don't know if you know about this. The Connecticut Freedom Alliance filed a lawsuit against the state of Connecticut for the school mask mandate. So every child in Connecticut, like most states, starting in August of last year when they went back to school, was required to wear a mask in school. And so we sued the State Department of Education, as well as Miguel Cardona, who's now the U.S. Secretary of Education. At the time, he was the Connecticut Commissioner of Education. And eventually, Ned Lamont was added to the suit as well, our governor. So we sued all of them over the school mask mandate because they just, Cardona just unilaterally came out with a mask mandate. He didn't go through any of the regulations, any of the rulemaking procedures, nothing in the statute. He just came out and said, I'm going to just rule by fiat. I'm going to decide that every child in school needs to wear masks. Now, number one, he's not the commissioner of public health. He doesn't know much about public health. He's supposed to be the commissioner of education. Why in the world he's making health decisions for children, I have no clue. But secondly, he didn't go through any of the procedures that are in the statute. So we said, no, you can't do that. Unfortunately, the trial court just dismissed that a couple of weeks ago, but we appealed it. And we are asking for direct transfer to the Connecticut Supreme Court. So we have over 1,000 pages of exhibits in the record, as well as 4 expert witnesses that we presented to testify that masks are not only ineffective at spreading the virus, but also that they are harmful, both psychologically and physically harmful to children, especially young children. I mean, in Connecticut, I don't know what it was in New York, but in Connecticut, any child over 2 had to wear the mask. Originally, it was supposed to be 3 and over, and they lowered it. No, originally it was just 3-year-olds, and I think they lowered it to 2-year-olds and over. And I mean, in daycares and stuff, you hear the teachers, the preschool teachers talking about the kids just, because they don't know any better. They're sneezing in their mask. They just keep their mask, so they're taking these things off. It's disgusting, and trying to breathe in them all day.
back up and putting it on their face.
Right. And they got food crumbs in it and everything, and it's dropping on the floor. I mean, that probably happens even in your school, Jenna, never mind in a preschool, but, kids getting, crumbs and getting them dirty and stuff like that, because you're taking it off, you're eating, you're putting it back on. You might still have some food on your lips. I mean, it's gross, really. And maybe some kids, I'm sure, carry more than one mask with them, so they could change a mask during the day. So I'm sure that happens. Luckily, I've never had to think about it, because it's something that, Joe, we never had to experience growing up. We never had to worry about having the right to breathe and, it's going to be too hot, and what kind of mask do I put on today? I mean, unless it was Halloween, we weren't wearing masks. And actually, they didn't let us wear masks into school, right, for Halloween. So
you wear a mask, you got in trouble.
Right. You remember when we used to, we're so old, Jenna, that we used to get in trouble for wearing a mask. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it. I'm going to just wrap this up, because this isn't supposed to be a long interview, just about 15 minutes. I just wanted everybody to come on and see you, and encourage people to come out to see you in Hartford. If you're nearby, if you're in New York, it's drivable. It's not too far. You can drive from Albany to Hartford in about 3 hours. Okay. And you can get there from New York City in about 2 hours. Boston's about less than 2 hours, about an hour and a half from Hartford. So anywhere you are in the Northeast, New Jersey even is about 3 hours, you can get to Hartford on Saturday. Let's show Dr. Gold and Jenna a huge crowd on Saturday. Let's have thousands of people there. Let's stand up for what we know is right, and stand up for the truth. And any parting words, anything you want to say before we wrap this up tonight?
I have something to say. A $2 mask will not protect you from COVID. It even says it on the box.
Absolutely right. And just like, we've said for years, so I've been in the medical freedom movement for years, talking about the risks of vaccines. I have a child who was very seriously injured by a flu shot. We always tell people, read the package inserts, because the adverse reactions are listed right there. And I know you're here to talk about masks, not vaccines, but they go hand in hand, because this was a prelude. I mean, the whole reason they want everybody to wear the mask, and they're still forcing the mask on children, is because now they're trying to push the shot on children. And we're going to talk about that on Saturday. There's some really, really, really serious side effects that young people are having. I know luckily you're not old enough to have received it yet. But it's for 12 to 17-year-olds who have received it, and even young adults who have received it are experiencing very serious side effects, including myocarditis. And there's a young woman who actually just died, sadly, the other day, a college student, a 19-year-old, who died from myocarditis, most likely due to the vaccine, about a month after she received it. So we're going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about that when I speak on Saturday. That's what this is. Everybody wants to go back to normal, so everybody can remove the mask, so that they can, get the shot, so you can take your mask off. So they're making this so unbearable. 90, 95 degree heat and humidity, like you're saying. It's just, I can't imagine this. I know you only have a couple of weeks left in school, maybe less, but still, it's not right. You were exercising your First Amendment right, Jenna. You were, that was a form of expression, even if you didn't say anything. Just taking off the mask in defiance, because you were standing. It wasn't just defiance. It was because you were standing up for your health, for your own bodily autonomy. That was an act of expression, and that kind of expression is protected under the First Amendment. Okay, so we can talk about that more offline, but thank you, Joe and Jenna, for joining me tonight, and everybody for watching. Somebody's asking where on Saturday. Again, it's going to be at the State Capitol, 210 Capitol Avenue in Hartford on the north side. You'll see the crowd gathered. Hartford, Connecticut. Be there Saturday at 6 p.m. All right, until I see you again, I'll see you this weekend. Have a great night. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having us. Bye.
All right, bye.